MiniWargamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com. Welcome to the terrain room. This is a room specifically designed for making terrain projects. That's right. So today, for you exclusive members, I'm going to do some rust effects. Now, I understand there's many different ways to do rust effects. I've sifted through many articles online, and this is the best method that I have seen to make quick rust effects. If any of you have seen a better article, let us know. But I'm going to go ahead and make some fast rust effects that look pretty good. So for this project, you're going to be needing these things. First off, let's talk about the paint we're going to be using. I'm going to be using Reaper's Rust Brown. Who would have thought, right? This paint is the best rust paint that I have ever seen for miniatures. I'm going to make that statement. That's right. This is the best paint that I have ever seen for rust effects. So if you want to make good rust effects, this is good paint. I am also going to be using a domed dry stipple brush. That's what this looks like. The painting effect that I will use for this project will be a stippling effect. Got my painting palette, just styrofoam plate, cup full of water, some extra absorbent paper towels, and some type of metallic paint. I'm going to use bolt gun metal for that. You could also use any other type of acrylic metallic paint. Now for the project itself. What will I paint using rust effects? Well, the camera that I'm using right now uses mini DV tapes, and this is the little cassette tape that it comes in. I have already taken the liberty and did a little test sample. So that is the rust that you'll be seeing. But I'm going to apply this to the rusty cortex. Now, what is the rusty cortex? This is the rusty cortex. Thanks to Fireman Tim, we have the rusty cortex. This is a very nice looking building, and it is named the rusty cortex. But ironically, there's no rust on it. So let us start by painting the roof with our metallic paint, and then I'm going to apply the rust effect. So the idea here is to paint on the metal. It sounds kind of funny, but I think you know what I mean. Paint the metal color on first to whatever you're painting. Just using the stippling brush because it's nice and big and I can get it done quick. See how there's little streaks like that? If you start at the top, go to the bottom, you get rid of all that. So it looks like one solid motion, one solid color. Now, I talked to Tim about this building, and he said originally his idea for this roof, he was going to make a shake shingled roof, but figured he would make it a metal roof instead. Interestingly enough though, he painted it blue. Now the blue is a very nice color, and just for demonstration purposes, am I changing the colors of it. Okay, we're just about ready. Wait for this to completely dry before you add the rust effect. Put some of your rust brown on your palette, and make sure you clean out and totally dry out your stippling brush before you begin using it for the rust effects. Okay, now essentially what you're going to be doing here is dabbing on the rust in this type of a motion. It's darker when it's wet, it'll dry a little bit lighter. You can already see that it's representing the rust really well. So if you notice on the cars and basically anything else that can develop rust, it comes in little rust spots. Press really lightly. If you only want a little bit of spots to come out, press a little harder. Want more paint to come out. Very simple. Moving down the line a little bit. As you can see here, the brush is really dry. It's not a wet brush. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to really look rusty. Now, depending on how much rust that you want to depict on your terrain piece, if you want to depict more rust, and this is my recommendation, I recommend using a sponge. Now with this sponge, what you do is you put some paint on your stippling brush, put your rust color paint on your terrain piece, make sure it's still wet, and use your sponge to essentially do the same thing. Only with this, it's getting in all those little areas that the stippling can't get in. Use the sponge if you want to have more of an even spread of the rust, and use your stippling brush for areas that you want to be concentrated. Put more paint on your sponge if you want even more. Okay, so there you have it, Wargamers. Nice and rusty Cortex. Very simple. Happy wargaming.